Hi. So, welcome to my channel. I'm here to talk about Clive. One of the reasons why I want to talk about Clive is because I don't see that many people talk about this commander, and I really want to talk more about it and just explore the nature of this deck list I made. And I've been watching some videos, I've been researching, seeing what kind of list do I want to build, what kind of cards. So you probably seen most of the cards that you've seen in Clive. But I really wanted to make my own version of the video in case if anybody was interested. But I hope you enjoyed this video. So Clive is a commander that is going to be focused around devotion and some bit of double damage, triple damage kind of theme. I don't want to focus too much on discarding outlet, but the devotion will be the first thing, and also double and triple the damage will be the second main focus. There's some other ways you can win, but again, so I will put the deck list in the description. So there's a link of the deck. I will remind everybody that the link of the deck will be probably likely to be modified. Um, upgrades, changes. But if you want to know the list of the actual card, I will copy and paste all the text, what's in this deck as of right now, instead of what is in the link, in case if you want to know exactly what's inside. So, so we're gonna go in cards and just spread them out in different type, and just talk about them and why I put them in the deck, and just kind of see in case if that interests you, and see if that's something that you want to put in the deck with Clive. So we're gonna go cut this half, and we're gonna go Jessica Will. So this first game changer. So this game is gonna be bracket 3. Jessica Will is just a really good escalating game. Can finish off games. Can exile. Can add a red mana. It's just a really solid Jessica Will. In mono red, you shouldn't be taking too long doing this, so you should be okay. Um, so Jessica Will is just a really powerful card. Molten Duplication. I will say if I pronounce the words wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm not good at pronouncing it. But Multiplication is a sorcery, gets to copy a creature on my field. So you can copy Clive, do the gain, and the ETB effect. You only get to keep one Clive, but still, you get to make a new hand if you don't like it. Some basic lands here. I believe we've got 37 lands in this deck, with a few non-basic. Sunspine X. So it's a creature, elemental cat. Players cannot gain life, and players' damage cannot be prevented. So if they got fog or something like that will stop them from not preventing, then this will stop them from preventing. And then it also reads when it enters, it deals damage to each player equal to the number non-basic that player controls. So basically, if they control more than 5 non-basic, they will take 5. And multi-duplication, you can just copy that instead of Clive and just make another copy of that and able to do some damage. And also the copy of the token will also gain haste as well. It's very useful. And then we got Runaway Steamkin, a creature elemental, 1/1, 2 mana. So whenever you cast a rest spell, you put if it has fewer than 3 counters, you put a counter on Runaway Steamkin. And then it has an activate ability that lets you remove 3 counters on it, and then you can add 3 red mana. So it's a really good engine source, extra mana. You're gonna be running all red source, so why not? Adds to devotion. Cavalier of Flame. So a lot of card text in this. It's also elemental. Surprisingly, I got a lot of elementals here. So maybe we can find some upgrade to elemental in mono red. So it reads here, when it enters the field, you may discard any number of cards and draw that many. It has an activate ability that lets you activate for 2 mana to give your creatures 1 buff, power, and haste. And it also reads, when this card were to die, it deals damage to each opponent equal to amount of and Planewalkers they control equal to the amount of lands in my graveyard. So when you be discarding from Clive or from Cavalier, you're probably going to do some damage. You can also enable haste creature, so again, just some flexibility. Turban, self-explanatory. If a source I would control deal damage to a player or permanent, it will do that much damage plus 2. So if they do 5 damage with Clive, then it will do 5 plus 2. We got a Steam Fast second, Tanak. Other creatures that control have haste, another haste enabler. It can also have a wrap ability. Gives my artifact cards and my red creatures um, in my hand have wrap. So enables haste, makes kills cheaper. Go spam dragon, some treasure. Great way to squeeze an extra mana resource. Curse of Opulence. So it gives you a gold token. Unfortunately, it does not give you treasure because treasure and gold token are not the same, even though they function the same thing. So gold spam would not get the value of this. So it's a bit of a downgrade. So ultimately manufacturing, so basically instant, can choose one mode. You can destroy an artifact, change targets of a target spell, ability with a target single, and make 1 or 2 target creatures cannot be blocked this turn. Can't block this turn. So a great removal, a great way to stop like cards like deflect and swat. It's like a cheap version of deflect and swat. Really good instant. Ruby Medallion. This card makes such a huge difference in this deck because there's a lot of 5 CMC and 6 CMC, and it's just really good, and it just really squeezes extra mana that could make a difference with that 1 mana difference, and it's just really fixable. And a land, Seed and Song, a great card. It adds 5 red mana, and then if you card like Runaway Steamkin, you know, cast in the Seed and Song, add a counter, have 1 red mana, do more stuff. You can add more counters to Runaway Skin, and just do more stuff. Really, it's really fun. I think it's really cool. Some basic, count on luck. At beginning of your upkeep, you exile top card of your library. You know, just get that. You get to play this turn. The reason why I put it in the deck is because the devotion is a free red. Adds a bit of flexibility. Really helps that devotion 3. So if you have nothing to do on turn 3, play this card. Really helps the devotion. Gets an extra value on your upkeep, and something to do. The Fire Crystal is an artifact. The Fire Crystal, oh, sorry, you can't probably see it very well, but we'll put the lands on here on the left side here. The Fire Crystal is one of the best cards in this deck, honestly. Sorry, let me just drink some cup of coffee, you know. The Fire Crystal is amazing. Absolutely love this card. This may be one of the best cards in Clive deck at the moment, and I could not stress enough how much I love this art style. Love it. Really, it's basically Red Medallion, but so much better, because not only gives you red spells cost 1 less, but it gives you creatures haste, and it has an activate ability that lets you activate it for 6 mana, tap it, create a token of a creature that you control, sacrifice it at beginning of your next end step. So this is really huge. It doesn't have sorcery activate ability. You can use it anytime. Really makes a difference. Could be used as a blocker. Gives your creatures haste. Gets red spell 1 less. 4 mana for this. It makes a huge difference in late game, and it really makes a huge difference in ending the game as well. So if you see this card in Clive that is an opponent controls, you gotta get rid of this card. This card, the best, honestly. Do not sleep in mono red Fire Crystal. Cannot stress that enough. Anyway, moving on. Conspiracy Theorist. This card, I'm a little bit on the fence to remove it, but it's a really good 2-drop. A Conspiracy Theorist basically says when he attacks, you can pay 1 colorless and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And then it also reads whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile them from your graveyard. 1 of them in your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it. So let's say you play Clive, you discard 5 cards, but you want to play that 1 specific card this turn. You can exile that and still play it that turn. So it's a decent 2-drop. You get to play 1 card exile, so you don't feel as bad, and it also counts towards devotion. There is a card that does similar effect, but it's colorless, and it does all cards that you discard that you can exile. And then the may trigger to exile as well. So, you know, this is also a may, but it's a singular exile effect. Okay. Fable the Mirror Breaker. This one's a bit of a hit or miss for me, but I think it's a good card. It's an enchantment. Gets a creature, just card. It has a copy effect. It's okay. It's not the best, but still good. Graduates Violence. So if a source I would control would deal to permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. So a great finisher. It's a 5 mana card, but again with Ruby Medallion and other cards, this can be in less than 4 manas. So really good enchantment. K-Sorp. You know, same self-explanatory. It's just a removal spell. Just does something. You can do your own stuff. Maybe keep something alive. Maybe get something better. Maybe you can do Clive, and then return it back to command zone. Up to you. It's a really good instant. Nihab the Eternal. This card is absolutely my favorite. It's not like the best card in the deck, but I honestly fucking love it. It's one of the coolest cards. So when you do Inflect 3, so if they were to block with it, they will take 3 damage. And if they don't block with it, they will take 4 damage because it's got 4 power. And then it says, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add red mana for each 1 life your opponent have lost this turn. So if they were to block, they lose 3 life from Inflict. And then on my second main phase, I add 3 red mana or additional whatever damage they took before, during the combat or before the combat phase. So if you got like cards, let's say, Sunspine X, you do some damage to them, let's say 6 damage, then you play Nihab, and then you go to your second main phase, you add even more red mana because I did lose life, and that will apply for each of my opponents as well. Okay, and then we got Wily Goblin. So Wily Goblin is a ETB. When it enters the field, you make a treasure. 2 mana card. It's really good. It got 2 red devotion, so it makes it easier. So Ancient Copper Dragon. This one is maybe the best card also in the deck, mainly because how much threat it becomes to the people on the table. When people see Ancient Copper Dragon, they should be scared of it. They will be terrified because it is a strong card, gives a lot of engine, and everyone knows that no matter what results you get, we don't know until it happens. So it's better to remove it or rather than keep it and let it do the thing. So Ancient Copper is a great card, and you won't have to worry too much because you got loads of ways to enable haste, the Fire Crystal, and other ways. And we also got Anger. Anger would be a great card included in this deck because Clive can easily discard this card, or you can play it and then use it as a blocker. Just a really good card. But yeah, Overlord of the Boiler by Gus. So ETB deals 4 damage to any target, and then when it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. Really good card. It goes in bending, you know. Does extra damage. You can double the damage with Gradualist Violence. So you can do, instead of 4, you can do 8 damage, which is insane. Just really good. Mountain. Tip of Trickery. A great removal. Just like a counter spell. I think you should include in every red mana. It really does make a difference because you could save the game before it ends and stop them from doing infinite combos or something like that. It's just a really good instant spell, and you can even do your own spell if you wanted to. Maybe you can do some shenanigans with that as well. So we go Avra, Inestimable Hair, Trample whenever it deals damage, or when it enters and whenever it deals damage to a player, create a blood token. So it enters, make a blood, deals damage to a player, make a blood token. But the best part about this card is says Whenever you discard a card, put a 1+1 card counter on this over. So, because Clive discards us so many cards, and we can make a copy of them as well, we can have this card discard loads of cards and make it really, really big. And not only that, but it also has trample, and it's a legendary creature, so it's just really good. So you can even make this as a commander if you wanted to. Bonehoard Dracosaur, it's you don't need to put this in the deck, but I like it. I think there's a lot of theme around it. So it's got flying, it's got first strike, it's got a really good blocker. On your upkeep, you exile 2 cards, you get one of those 2 values. If it's not a land, let me read again. If it's not a land, you make a treasure. If it's a land, you make a 3/1 dinosaur. It's just a really good 5 mana flying dinosaur. Mountain, Goblin Chain Ruler. Really good. Really, really good. When it enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they each opponent and each creature and playwalker they control. So this is really, really good because like I said, you can double the damage, or Turban can do damage because it is a red source. It's a first strike, it's got 3 red devotion, it's an instant including Clive. Just a really good card. We got Power Balance, really good 2-drop, 2 mana red. You may be able to cast some spells for free. I managed to pull this off with Ruby Medallion on 2-drop. Really good, really, really good, and it really makes a difference. Everyone get to see what's the top library, so it does give a bit of information, but hey, what can you do about it? So we got some mountain, Electroduplication, so it's a sorcery 3 mana. You get to create a target creature token, and it has haste, and it has a end step, you sacrifice it. So it also has flashback for 4 mana, so you can discard it from Clive, cast it game from flashback, and it's just really good squeezing that extra mana. It is a sorcery, however, so that's a bit of a sadness. We got Mob, so 3 mana red. Really good card. You can sacrifice it, do 3 damage, divided as you choose among 1 or 2, 3 targets. So you can do, like, say, 1 damage here, 3 damage here, etc, etc. I don't know how it will work with double the damage. So let's say if I do 1 damage here, would that double the damage here, and then 2 damage here, would that double to 4 damage? I'm not too sure, but I'm assuming that's how it would work. But yeah, Mog is really good. 3 mana red. You can sacrifice it any time. You can block it, and then you can sacrifice it in response to the block and do some damage to something or to a player. Flexible, amazing, really high synergistic. Cast Fire Resistance is a Planewalker, such as for a mountain. You can do damage to a creature equal to amount of lands, mountains you control. And then -7 could be a finisher, where it gets you an emblem. When it reads, whenever a mountain enters the field, you get to deal 4 damage to any target. So remember, you got a lot of enchantments that can do double the damage, or Turban that can do 2 damage extra. So really squeezes that extra damage, and that really makes a difference as well. So Planewalkers as well. Glittering Stockpile, a mana rock, really good 3 mana drop. Not much to say about it. As an artifact. Defiler of Instinct, again first strike, 4 mana, makes a reduced spell. Rest spells you cast, permanent spells that you cast, deals 1 damage to any target. Just a really good spell, and it can double. Combat Celebrant, so this could be a finisher. You can exert it, and you may, when it attacks, you can untap it, and creature control of this has additional combat phase. So if you exert it, you got additional combat phase after this one. So you can, I don't know if this has infinite with this combat, but I think it does. I might need to recheck that and see if I can find out about it. But yeah, extra combat, really good. You can make a copy of that with Fire Crystal, make additional combat turn. So really good, because really good. A mountain, and then we got Chrome Mox. Now, a Chrome Mox is, you don't have to include Chrome Mox. This is just more of a like I like squeezing in good cards and some cards that I want to play. Um, the cards I want to play. You don't need to include Chrome Mox in this deck, because end of the day, it's basically essentially a very powerful artifact that lets you add additional red mana, and it's a 0 cost as well, so it really could make a difference in bracket 3, and depending on what turn. You could also treat it like kind of like a Soul Ring. You do have to exile one card, but you produce red mana for it. But at the same time, like, it's Chrome Mox. It's one of the best cards. I mean, look at the style of this card. Like, like, yeah, it looks pretty good for foil. But I really like it. It is a game changer, so this is the second game changer. So we got Justical Will being the first game changer, and Chrome Mox being the second changer. I believe this is the only 2 game changers in this deck. I could be wrong, but we'll double check. So yeah, this is Artifact. Okay, so we got Mountain, Madden Hex, it's a curse, self-explanatory. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, they do lots of damage to them, and then they give it to random. So the reason why I put this in the deck is just Devotion does extra damage, and because we control the source, we can double that damage. So, ouchie, that hurts a lot. So they better be not casting any counter spells while they have this attached on them. This game has won me some games because of their greed. So, love this card a lot. Really fun. So this is an enchantment. Mountain, Spiteful Bantery. It's a board wipe that is an enchantment, so you can pay X amount of mana. And also, whenever one or more of your creatures dies, opponent creatures die, you get to make a treasure. And then its ability only triggers once per turn, so it does add a bit of a downgrade. But because there's 3 turns for each opponent, this will trigger individual turns. So if somebody plans Sacrifice Outlet and then someone kills on their turn a creature spell on other person's turn, that will trigger separately. So 2 treasure mana, great. And then with having Ghost Spam on the game, you can add 4 mana by those 2 treasures alone, and that could make a difference. So that's the first half of the deck. Sunset Strike Master, it's a mana dog, incredible card, incredibly recommended. It's so cheap, so dirt. I really recommend adding this in Clive. It's absolutely 100% added in. It's just really good mana dog. It's a 3/1, 2 mana, great blocker, flexible. Valkut Molten Principle. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce it. It's a land, and it enters tap, unfortunately. Yeah, it's for red mana, but it also has that whenever a mountain enters the field, and if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have this land deal 3 damage to any target. So if you have total, let's say, so you have 5 lands, and then you play the 6th land, and so on will trigger this card and deal 3 damage to any target. Again, you can double the damage with some cards that we have in this deck. A great land. So this is our first non-land, non-basic. Mana Geyser. Like, who doesn't play Mana Geyser in mono red? Like, in any card, Mana Geyser is a must-have card. People sleep on those cards so often that, actually that's a lie. In bracket 3, if you're playing red, you would like more or less likely play Mana Geyser. It's a sorcery, so yeah. This card, I don't know if many people play as a mono red. I recommend it. Sundering Interruption, it's a sorcery, but it can also be a double-sided land. So you can have it enter untap by paying 3 life. Adds for red mana, and it also reads, if you were to cast the sorcery side, destroy target land, a controller may search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. Creatures without flying cannot block this turn. So if they don't have flying, they cannot block this turn. Sucks to be them. Incredibly great card. So a land, flexible, and a removal. Staff of Completion, a great card. I absolutely 100% recommend adding it as Clive. it gives you destroy permanent that you control. So if somebody tries to steal something, hey, I'm going to destroy this, you can't have it. Or you can add 2 red mana of any color. You can proliferate. Well, don't forget, Clive is a double-sided card, so he does have Sega, so you can counter that. Pay 4, just draw a card life, and then if you can play 5 mana to untap, start for completion to play another life, whatever the following. A great card in Commander, absolutely great card. Start for completion, absolutely should add it in. So mountain. Fountain of the Third Path, basically another way to generate us a token, but from our graveyard. And again, haste. So because we're gonna be discounting a lot of cards in Clive, let's say Ancient Copper Dragon, we could have cast that in turn, and that cost us a lot. But with this card, we can actually play it in a graveyard. So again, more flexibility, really high tuned bracket 3 deck. You can I would argue and say you may be able to compete with bracket 4, but because there's so much freedom what you can do bracket 4, you may struggle to keep up with the amount of like interactions like free counter spells, land mass denial, and there's no mass denial in this deck. Considered it, decided not to, because you know I decided to go with land removal rather than last man denial. And what we got here is Fanatic of Mogis. It's a an end game finisher. 4 mana creature, 4/2. When it enters, it deals damage to each opponent equal to the amount of red devotion you have. So, since we are focusing on devotion, this is a great finisher card. We can also focus on copying this effect of this card, do another trigger, and because it's not a legendary, we get 2 of those copies in the field. So we still get to keep the original, and we still get the copy of the card. So we still get the copy of the devotion on the token because it copies everything, including the devotion of the card. So not most tokens will have no devotion because they're created from a card, but when you create a token from a card, you copy everything, including the devotion. So a must-need card in this deck. Enduring Courage gives the creatures haste, gives 2 buff when they enter. If Enduring Courage were to die, you get to return this card back from a graveyard to the field as an enchantment, so we still get to keep the devotion. Glinehorn Bacania. Haste 2/4. Whenever you discard a card, deals 1 damage to each opponent. You can pay 2 mana to discard a card, draw a card. Activate only if Glinehorn Bacania is attacking. This card is a bit of a hit and miss. I don't want to focus too much on discarding, but I don't hate it. It's a 2/4, 3 mana, a great blocker. It does a good job. So if I want to discard something, it's pretty good. So Arbask the hitting. Creatures that control have haste, and creatures your opponent controls enter the battlefield tapped. Really good. Slow them down a little bit. No more hasty for them. No more tokens entering for them. Red Elemental Blast. Get rid of the Instinct Study. Get rid of the counter the commander. Make their life live in hell. Don't give Jodo players a chance to play the game. Counter that spell. You know what I'm saying? 5 mana card decks. Pfft. Sliver decks. Pfft. Get out. Red Elemental. Great card. Doesn't always work, but when it does, mwah, it's incredible. Mountain Strip Mine, great card to remove. Like I think every card should include Strip Mine in bracket 3. Absolutely should. There's just so many absurd amount of lands that you should be removing that Strip Mine is just, you just have to remove it. Like Gaia's Cradle. Oh, there's plenty of cards we can mention, but that's for another time. Fury Observation, the 6 mana enchantment. If a source you control, to a permanent or permanent, it does triple that permanent or player instead. This could end the game very quickly if you're not careful. So, yeah, enchantment. Zookeeper making another mana dork. Highly recommended. This came out from the Edge of Eternities set, so I really recommend this card. It's a creature as well. Etali Primal Storm. Why not? Why not? we might as well make a copy of him. Well, he's a legendary, but if you could find ways to make him not legendary, then you know. Etali's a great card. Blasphemous Act, is a board wipe, is a must-need boost. Solemn Simulacrum, some mana ramp, blocker, draws a card when it dies. You can make copy of this card as well. So, speaking of copy, we got Cursed Mirror. Absolutely great card. You can copy so many effects. Clive, Solemn Lamtrim, Ancient Copper Dragon. It's amazing. It's really, really good. So it is an artifact. It is a mana rock. Soaring. Just like a proxy Soaring. See, very cool. You probably already knows what Soaring is. Principal Priceable Monk. I'm really sorry I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's a Purus 2/2 5 mana creature, but it also has double-sided, so you can make it as a land if you wanted to on the backside. But if you were to cast it on a creature based, what it does, when it enters, you get to return instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. So basically what you could do is you can return like Elemental Blast, Triple Trickery, maybe you want to get some Season Song or Jessica Will. Great way to return those spells back and replay them and do it again. Into Sunshine of Sun. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, you put a 1/1 on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of the turn. A really great way to extra slam them, get that trample through the way from the token. And if you got triple the damage, then boom, 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 you do even more damage. So yeah. Bitter Reunion, ETB, is enchantment. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2. You could tap 1 colorless, sacrifice Bitter Reunion, and then you get to make your creatures haste. So you can give haste. It gives you draw and discard. It gives you devotion to red. So much flexibility. Arcane Signet. It's good. It's just really good. Thought Vessel. You know, you're gonna be drawing so many cards with Clive that you might not want to discard those cards that you have. Chainsaw. Yeah, it's a good removal. It can kill something. It can get big very quickly. I'm on the fence on keeping this card in the deck, but it has helped me kill Birds of Paradise so many times so that I want to keep it in the deck. Arena of Glory, this is a must-need land, in my opinion. Really makes a difference. I also learned that you can exert land and add 2 red mana to give it haste into your end of turn. So on your next following turn, you don't untap this land, you untap it the next 2 following turns. So not that following turn that you're going on top, the next after that one. But basically what I learned is that when you exert it and tap 2 red mana, and if you use one of those 2 red mana to spend it, that creature gain haste. Essentially what I'm saying is that you can use 1 red mana for a creature that can give haste, and then use the other red mana floating from Arena Glory to give that creature haste. So essentially you can give 2 creatures haste from Arena Glory because you don't have to use those 2 red mana in one go. You can separate those 2 mana in any way as you like. Incredible card. Love it. Another mountain. Another mountain. Another mountain. Another mountain. Mountain. Shrine to Nyx. Just a really good card. You don't need to put this in a deck if you don't want to. Because it is expensive and it is quite overpowered. Again, this is a bracket 3. I like to make it, you know, synergized, but also I want to do what mono red does good at, and that is devotion, and that's what I'm leaning on this type of tribal. Mono red still feels like it can lose very quickly because I be wide open half of the time and I take a lot of damage. So I just kind of have to pray nobody has interaction. So that's why I have Shrine to Nyx to squeeze in that extra mana to hopefully close down the game. The quicker the better, because you know that's what mono red is good at doing. It's not good at keeping people alive. It's good at taking the game down as quickly as you can. So why not? Pauperous, God of Forge, indestructible, 4 mana. Whenever another creature you control enters, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Amazing. Twin Flame Tyrant, flying, 3/5, 5 mana. If a source with control would deal damage to your opponent or Permanent the opponent controls, it deals double damage. It's Dragon, can't complain. Stone Wraith, deals 4 damage to each creature and each Planewalker. Again, if you have double the damage, you can essentially just deal more damage and hopefully kill something. Mountain, and then last but not least, Chandra Initiative. Sorcery, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creatures and each opponent. So this can end the game very, very quickly because again, it could do double the X damage or triple the X damage, and we got other cards here as well. And just make sure that we have included Torban. Just I don't know if I've seen Torban. Have I seen Torban? Yeah, we did include Torban. Okay. So anyway, that's the deck. I love talking about it. I'm so in love with Clive. I really do feel like this deck really squeezes that extra amount of devotion. I'm really happy with how it works. I don't feel like I want to change it too much at the moment. I might include or exclude 1 or 2 cards like the Glinehorn because I'm not focusing too much on discard outlet. However, again, I still think that this is really, really fun, and that this deck just does a really good job in basically squeezing that extra mana with Shrine and Red Movie Medallion to reduce the cost, and just in general, it's just really fun. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you guys got any questions in the comments, let me know. I've been playing Clive loads of games. I won plenty of games with him. Many people who hasn't played against Clive don't really know what it does until it starts doing the thing. So once they realize what I'm doing, they see the pattern that I'm the problem later in the game. It's a slow deck. It starts to do the thing around turn 4 or 5 around. Usually the first few turns will be quite slow, but you can always get the mana dogs and start doing the engine online, and then use your Clive to get fresh new hands. And I would always advise people to counterspell Clive when they can. It might feel bad moment, but you gotta do it. It will feel bad for me, but as a Clive player, Clive is good. Like a command zone that can draw me cards equals to devotion and draw me new fresh cards. I don't know, man. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, feel free to ask. It's been a long video, but I enjoyed making this. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you guys all next time. If you guys want to see a gameplay of this video or watch me playing this game on Spell Table, let me know. I'll probably make a video about Clive, and hopefully it will be an interesting game. But yeah, for now, this is the deck. Let me know what you guys think.